What if Neo took the blue pill in the Matrix? In the iconic scene from the Matrix, Morpheus offers both Neo and Trinity a choice, the blue pill or the red pill. And we all know that Neo chooses the red pill, and then the rest is history. But what if he chose the blue pill instead? Well, let us imagine what would have happened to Neo if he had chosen to forget about everything he learned from Morpheus and decided to go back to living his life in the Matrix as just another mindless slave. So, here goes nothing. Neo wakes up and finds himself in the same position as he was before he met Morpheus. He is lying in his bed in the dreary apartment that he shares with a roommate that doesn't even acknowledge him. After getting dressed for work, he walks downstairs to grab a bagel from the toaster and make a sandwich for breakfast. While eating his food, he looks at the television and sees the same news report that he saw the night before, the one about the missing people who have vanished without a trace. There's something about this report that he can't quite put his finger on, but it seems off to him. As Neo walks out into the rain-soaked city streets to go to work, he continues to have these odd feelings like something is not right. He feels like there's something that he's forgetting, but he can't figure out what. He arrives at his job working for the powerful men. It's late at night, and he's alone in the office, crunching numbers at the computer when suddenly he hears the sound of someone breaking into the building through the window. Immediately, his heart starts racing and his body becomes filled with adrenaline. Instinctively, he hides under his desk and pulls out his cell phone and begins rapidly dialing a number. To his horror, he doesn't recognize the number that he is dialing, and he doesn't know why he is doing so. When the person on the other end of the line answers, they speak in an unintelligible language that Neo doesn't understand. And yet he understands that the person on the other end of the line is asking him why he has completed his assignment. Startled by the fact that this person knows who he is, Neo quickly hangs up the phone and thinks to himself that it must have been a wrong number. He decides to get back to work, and just as he does, the lights begin to flicker ominously overhead. Neo ignores the flickering lights and continues working until suddenly the room plunges into total darkness. He reaches for his cell phone to use the flashlight feature, but the battery is dead. Just then, the door swings open, and two burly men walk in and approach Neo's hiding spot underneath the desk. They don't say a word to him. They just reach down and grab him by his shirt and drag him out from underneath the desk. At this point, Neo realizes that he has nowhere to run and no one to turn to for help. He's trapped, and he doesn't know what's going to happen next. Just then, one of the men speaks up and tells Neo that it is time for him to come with them. As they lead him out of the office and down the stairs, he notices that the other employees are nowhere to be found. The place is completely empty. They arrive outside and get into a black car. Neo is still confused and scared, but tries to act natural. He asks the driver where they're going, but the driver ignores him and only says, "We'll meet your every need." Neo knows that he's in too deep now and that there's no turning back. He has been taken to a location that he doesn't recognize and doesn't know what will happen to him next. The car finally pulls up to a large warehouse-like building, and the doors open automatically, as if it were expecting their arrival. As they enter the building, Neo is led into a brightly lit room with white walls and a high ceiling. He looks around and notices that there are people in the room, but they're all wearing blindfolds over their eyes. He's led to a chair and sits down while one of the men takes off his blindfold. He's then offered a blue pill and told to take it. Neo hesitates for a moment, but then takes the pill and swallows it down. He waits a few seconds, but nothing happens. One of the men tells him that he needs to relax and close his eyes. Neo does as he's told and drifts off to sleep. He wakes up in his bed in his small apartment. Confused and disoriented, he gets out of bed and looks around the room. Everything seems normal, and there's no sign of anyone else being there. He remembers having a strange dream about being in a dark warehouse and taking a blue pill, but he can't remember anything else. He gets out of bed and starts his day as usual. He goes to work, eats lunch, and comes home. All the while, he can't shake the feeling that something is not right. He tries to focus on his work, but he can't concentrate. He keeps thinking about his dream and this strange blue pill that he took. As the days go by, Neo continues to feel uneasy and uncomfortable. He can't shake the feeling that something is not right, but he can't put his finger on it. He tries to tell his friends and family about his dream, but they just laugh him off and tell him that it was just a bad dream. Frustrated and confused, he goes back to work. But after a few more days, he's fired because he wasn't doing his job. Now, unemployed and desperate for money, he starts looking for a new job. But everywhere he goes, he's turned away. No one wants to hire him. Dejected and hopeless, Neo returns home. As he walks into his apartment, he notices that the walls seem to be closing in on him, and the room seems to be getting darker. He feels like he's trapped and there's no escape. Suddenly, he remembers the blue pill from his dream. Could it be the answer to his problems? He thinks to himself, if the blue pill made me feel so good in my dream, maybe it can make me feel better now. So he decides to take another blue pill. As the pill takes effect, Neo begins to feel a sense of calm wash over him. The darkness in the room seemed to lift and the walls seemed to move further apart. He feels like he's breaking free from the confines of his apartment. Suddenly, the walls disappear, and Neo finds himself in the same brightly lit room from his dream. He looks around and sees the same people with blindfolds over their eyes. One of the men approaches him and tells him that it's time to join the others. Neo hesitates for a moment, but then follows the man. The man leads Neo to a table with a computer on it and tells him to sit down. You have been selected, the man says. Neo is confused and asks, selected for what? The man doesn't answer and simply turns on the computer. A green cursor appears on the screen and the man tells Neo to type in a command. What is your name? The man asks. Neo types in the command and the man nods his head. Good, he says. Now, you are one of us. Neo is confused and asks what he means, but the man ignores him and tells him to stand up. Neo stands up and walks over to a mirror on the wall. As he looks into the mirror, he sees a version of himself with a black leather trench coat and sunglasses. The man tells Neo that this is who he will become. This is the one, the man says, pointing to the image in the mirror. This is the one you will become. Neo is confused and asks who the one is. The man ignores him and tells him to get ready. It is time to begin, he says, and that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching till the end. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. We also have other social media accounts. Follow us there for more updates. Until next time, take care.